depends on the type of horror movie. Like.
All right, fine. I don't watch horror movies.
Psychological, like thrillers.
All right, I'll accept that. All right, so let's talk about the different types of people that are involved in psychology. And your first major one is called a psychiatrist. Okay, on the back of your study guide, you will see the box that says psychiatrist. Study guide is the one with the boxes. All right, so psychiatrist is a medical doctor who specializes in diagnosis and treatment of psychological disorders. Okay, you don't need to write full and complete sentences on your study guide. You do need to write them on your focus. With that being said, everyone in this room knows someone who's been diagnosed with ADHD. Would you agree? Whether it's you, brother, sister, parent, whoever, everyone in this room knows someone who has it. Okay? My brother has ADHD, and if you met my brother, you would know immediately that's completely true because he's all over the place. Once a year, my brother goes to see a psychiatrist. That psychiatrist looks over everything, talks to Mark, and is like, yeah, you still have ADHD, and writes him another prescription for a year long of his Adderall. Okay?
I have to go every 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I go like.
He's also
every
like
3
grown,
months.
sweetie. Like, your brain chemistry is changing. My brother is older than I am, so like he's old. Okay? So when you go and see your psychiatrist, they're the only ones who can prescribe you medication. Okay? They're the only ones. Their signatures end in MD, which is a medical doctorate. When we talk about psychiatrists, they go to 4 years of undergrad, they do 4 years of med school, and then they do, I think, like 5 or 6 years of medical training in hospitals.
Wow.
We've all seen Grey's Anatomy, right? They're all students still, they're learning all their stuff, okay? Okay? That's what a psychiatrist has to go through. That's why they can diagnose, they can prescribe medication. Underneath you have psychoanalysts. Psychoanalysts are people who follow Freud's psychoanalysis. Okay? There's only one school in the whole country that gives a degree in this now. It used to be incredibly popular. It's not so popular anymore. And that's Boston University. To become a psychoanalyst, it takes 8 years of schooling to graduate with a master's. I have a master's and 6 years of schooling. Okay, so you can see that it takes a long time to get, yes? It's because you have to understand your unconscious. And that's what Sigmund Freud's all about. Okay, your next one is your psychiatric social worker. There's no box for this, just listen real quick. So say, for instance, your 12-year-old little sister becomes an alcoholic. At the age of 12, I think we can agree social workers would be very concerned, yes? So social workers would go into your house, a psychiatric social worker, and would look at all the triggers, the issues, the family dynamics you have in your house, and try to say, this is why this 12-year-old girl is drinking alcohol every single day to excess. It's kind of a weird example, but we're going to go with it. Okay? So, they're going to go in, look at poverty, overcrowding, stress, and drug abuse, and try to diagnose what the problem is and figure out the treatment. Psychologist is on your paper, if you want to fill this in. So, a psychologist is a professional with an academic degree and specialized training in one or more areas of psychology. What that means is, when we think about a psychologist, when someone says a therapist, and you go to your therapist's office, you sit down on a couch and have a conversation. Well, hey, how was your day today? Oh, it was great. You know, we did this, you know, it's kind of stressful, stuff like that. That is a psychologist. When you're going and having a talking session, a psychologist. Now, when you go to a psychiatrist, they're trying to figure out all the medical stuff because they're prescribing medication. A psychologist is, how do you feel about that? What are your thoughts about that? Now, James, I would like you to listen, sweetie. I'm not asking you to do a damn thing, but sitting there, doing that ain't going to help your cause or first impression. So, psychologist is going to be the most common type. You can be a psychologist with just a master's, or you can have a PhD. So, there's a whole spectrum. All right. So, if you turn to the back of your focus, I'm going to fill this stuff in for you right here. My goal is to finish the back for you. Does that sound good to you? All right. So, here we go. Remember, when you're doing your focus, this is the other one. when you're doing your focus, which looks like this, some of you are shuffling here. When you're doing your focus, it needs to be in complete sentences. I'm always going to start off saying these psychologists. So when you get ahead of me, I would just write down these psychologists so you could get ahead, yeah? Okay. So clinical psychologists started off with these psychologists conduct research at a university. So on next to clinical, write these psychologists conduct research at universities. That's all you gotta write. Fun fact for you, USF is one of the largest producers of psychological research in the country. It's kind of what they're known for. Okay, so throughout all of USF, they have tons of research. Next week, I'm going to explain how my husband participated in a 4-year research study at USF, and he had no idea what the hell he was doing. But we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about how experiments work. The next one is clinical, right? No, is cognitive. These psychologists look at how thinking processes affect problem solving. That's all you gotta write. These psychologists look at thinking processes and how they affect problem solving. Chance, do you need your head up, man? Okay? Just so you know, I talked about my Japanese guy, right?
Wait, what is it? Thinking processes and
Affect problem solving. Everyone in this room knows someone who makes terrible decisions on a regular basis. Would we agree? That hurt them either physically, socially, emotionally, whatever. They make stupid decisions on a regular basis. A cognitive psychologist is going to figure out why they are making this and how can we stop them from making stupid decisions on a regular basis. Okay? So if you go to like AA, have you heard of AA? Hello, my name is Sam and I'm an alcoholic. Yes, you've seen it at least in the movies. They are cognitive psychologists to a degree where they're trying to stop you from when you need coping, stop drinking, let's, do something else. It's cognitive psychology to a degree. Your next one is counseling. These psychologists are the most popular type of psychology. They're the most popular type, and they do talking therapy. Everyone in this room has heard of marriage counseling, correct? Whether your parents have been a part of it or you've at least seen it in the movies and stuff like that, people go in, talk about their problems, and the therapist is there to try to lead the conversation in a positive direction. That's counseling. When you think about psychologists, that's what you think of. Okay? Next one is educational. These psychologists...
Developmental.
Just kidding. Okay. Developmental. These psychologists look at brain development and physiological development in children. Okay, so they're looking at the pattern of how you've developed. Okay, so if we wanted to figure out why you are the way you are at age 16, 17, 18, a developmental psychologist would say, well, because he grew faster in the 5th grade. He became more popular amongst the boys because he was the biggest boy in 4th grade, which made him more attractive to the ladies in 4th grade, which made him the most popular boy in school, which is why social hierarchy in elementary school and middle school is based on who develops first. Developmental psychology, they study those relationships. All right, next one is educational. These psychologists research and implement best practices in education. What the hell that means is they're constantly conducting and figuring out better ways to teach. Who here has had a crappy teacher in their life? Okay, did that kind of teacher kind of mess you up a little bit? I had a terrible 2 years. Oh, shush. Come on. Okay, with that, with your bad teacher experience, I had 2 years of a bad math teacher and that important transition of letters in math. I had good teachers with just like numbers, and then that year it transitioned to having solve for A, solve for B, solve for C crap. I had 2 teachers back to back, so I'm like completely useless in math. Like, I can't do it. I blame them entirely and take no responsibility. With that being said, that's your educationals. They would go into that classroom and say, whoa, 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 stop. This isn't the best way. Then you have human factors.
Experimental.
Damn it. Experimental. These psychologists look at clinical results and apply them to a larger population. These psychologists take clinical results and apply them to a larger population. We've all heard of the FDA. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. When they do drug testing, okay, so say USF comes up with a cure for cancer, and they're like, oh my God, so they tested it for 10 years, and they're like, oh my God, we finally figured it out, we cured cancer. So they're like, hey, FDA, we cured cancer, and the FDA is like, cool. Give it to us, we'll test it to make sure it's safe for humans. So what happens is, the FDA takes it from USF, and then they send it to their places throughout the country. So Harvard, Cornell, Stanford University are going to be testing your results. Once all of those places all agree that you cured cancer, then the FDA, after like 10, 15, 16 years, depending on how long it takes, will say, all right, this is safe for Americans to take. That's how it works. What happens in experimental is we're just trying to validate the experiment results in a larger population. Okay? All right, your next one is human factors. These psychologists improve the life of employees by making it safer. Okay? Human factors is trying to improve the life of employees by making it safer. Do you find it annoying that we have fire drills on a regular basis? No? You like the break? You like going and standing and sweating in a field?
I thought they were a lot louder than the last school.
A lot louder than your last school? It's pretty intense. Depends what room you're in. Mine aren't too bad. Okay? So, when we talk about human factors, it's about helping people and protecting people and saving people's lives. Okay? So, say for instance, smaller example, if I worked at a stapler factory, okay, and I get like super achy and my elbows hurt from like putting the staplers together, a human factor psychologist would be like, well, she is really achy and uncomfortable and she has a certain skill of how to make staplers. So they would give me a little mat that I would stand on that would like align my back, and I'd be like, oh my God, I feel wonderful. It's all about improving the individual's experience to make them work better. The next one is industrial organization. These psychologists improve the environment of a company to make more money. Human factors is about the employee. Industrial organizational is about the company. Do you think Google invests millions of dollars in their culture in order to make their people happy or make them more productive? More productive. The CEO of Google, and I can't think of his name at the moment.
Sarah, like
I don't
Susan.
Is it
something.
Susan?
Her name's Susan,
That's pretty
and
cool.
she has a ridiculous last name. That's impossible to pronounce.
Well, you gotta Google it then. Anyway, so they're spending all this money in order to get more out of their employees, which we talked about earlier. Your next one is personality. These psychologists look at the impact of your personality and how it helps or hurts you. Okay? So, I think by now you can tell that I'm not really a warm and fuzzy kind of gal. Yes? I'm not like, oh my God. I'm not like a ushy-gushy, like, I'm not sentimental. And you won't get a hug from me until the day of your AP exam, if you even want one. And it's cool if you don't, because I'm not really a touchy-feely kind of gal. Okay? However, a personality psychologist would come to me and say, whoa, Sam Bennett, you would make people like you if you smiled more. You would get more done if you had a smile on your face and that you made more small talk. And you were, instead of talking quickly, took breaths in between sentences. So they would look at my personality and try to shape it to make it more approachable. So I could get more done in my life. Does that make sense? All right. And then you have social.
You have
Psychometrics. They're the ones looking at data from experiments. That's all they do. They just sit around and look at data. Could you imagine a more boring job? They're just sitting there calculating. Gross. And then you have social. They look at the impact of cultural and social aspects of the human experience. They're pretty cool. It's really hard to get a job as a social psychologist. But they have like the coolest jobs.
Like, can you repeat that one?
They look at the cultural and social impacts of our society.
How is it cool?
It's kind of cool because they're looking at, so for instance, typically most of your dating coaches are social psychologists. What that means is that they're going to help you read body language to figure out who would be attracted to you sitting at that bar, who to approach, who not to approach by reading like body language, looking at how they hold their drink, are they open to conversation, stuff like that. They're the ones who do all of your advertising. They're the huge advertising executives, are actually social psychologists, not actually advertising like degrees. Because they're about manipulating people and learning how to do that. So they make crazy money doing that. They're going to be doing a lot of your sports teams and stuff like that are going to be doing the social psychologists, learning about how to get more people to care about the Bucks. How can we get those types of things? Those are the kind of things. Yes.
Why is there like such a small amount?
Because like to get like a social psychologist job to like analyzing and stuff like that is just really hard to get.
Oh.
Most people become clinical counseling psychologists just because there's not a ton of opportunities. That's all. It's hard to get a job in psychology if you're not doing counseling.
Who's Mary Calkins?
Thank you. Mary Calkins is going to be
applications are out now.
your
Due next
first
Friday.
female president of the American Psychological Association.
There will be a
You can also write APA if you would like. It's a big deal. The APA is the longest psychological society in the country. In the world, actually.
There will be a meeting for all
Okay,
those
Charles
interested in
Darwin is going to be the founder of the evolutionary perspective. Remember, full sentences.
3:10 to 3:30.
Simple and
Please
straightforward,
seek information
but
and questions.
sentences.
There will be an informational meeting for all new.
Now, Dorothea Dix is like a
Monday,
boss.
May 21st at
Dorothea
3:00
Dix
27.
improves the treatment
109. They are due September 1st.
of the mentally disabled throughout the entire country. Does everyone know how she does it? Dorothea Dix, she's a boss. In the mental institution, she improves the treatment of the mentally ill in mental institutions across the world. She takes down like $1 billion shady industry. It's so cool. She is a newspaper editor and she smuggles herself into an insane asylum.
Is that what
Yes!
American Horror Story show's about? No.
Yes, if you
Asylum.
ever watch
American
Drunk
Horror Story.
History, they do it. I don't know about that. I don't watch that crap.
No, that's literally what it's about.
She hit herself. She pretended she had a mental illness. She hit herself in there, and while she was like pretending to have schizophrenia, she was like, "Oh, look at all this crazy stuff that's going on. They've literally chained this guy to a wall for 5 years, and he hasn't moved. And she's writing about all the terrible things." The New York Post posts her writings every single week, and people become outraged. And that's why we don't have mental asylums anymore. There's no mental hospitals in the United States anymore. We've started opening some back because you can't just close and expect the problem to go away. Right now, the United States only has 5 mental hospitals in the country. Do you think we have people who have more needs than 5?
Is that why like all those ghost shows go to like all the old abandoned?
Yeah, because Dorothea Dix, man, she killed it. All right, here we go. Sigmund Freud, he's the founder of the psychoanalytic. Okay. I am blanking on G. Stanley Hall. So please don't hate me. Oh, no. He is going to be the founder of the developmental psychology. Yes. Killing it. By the way, you will see his name once in the next year. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, William James. He is the founder of your functionalist perspective. Pavlov is going to be the foundation of your behaviorist. He's a famous behaviorist. He does the dog salvation experiment. We're going to electrocute puppies. I'm pretty excited about it. It's not as bad as
Electrocute?
Yeah.
As bad as was it the cat in the box thing?
we don't even get to Schroeder's cat in the box. That's just so out
Wait, I
there.
thought it just made a noise.
No, the original experiment we zap them. I got the footage. We also we electrocute them as well until they have no will to live. We'll get to that though. All right, Jean Piaget. He is developmental psychology. He is one of the foundations of developmental psychology. He does sensory motor.
Sensory.
No, it has a thing. Psychological stages of development. It's fine. Carl Rogers, he's a humanist. He is the absolute foundation of the humanist thing. He believes everyone's wonderful. That's nice. Okay, B.F. Skinner is the foundation of the behaviorist movement. It's pretty cool. Margaret Washburn is going to be your first female PhD in psychology. And who's my last? Oh, you all should know William Wounded at this point. If you don't know that, I don't know what to do.
What about John Watson?
John B. Watson, he is going to be a behaviorist. He's going to terrorize a child, so he's going to commit suicide. It's pretty cool.
Oh, is that with the thing with the rat in there?
Oh, there's a rat, there's a penguin, there's a fur. It's cool. Yes. Washburn, she's the first female PhD student. Congratulations. If you wrote down what I told you, you pretty much finished your focus, yes? Keep in mind, your focus and your study guide are due tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. You have a test tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow's your last day of new stuff. After that, everything's old hat. Yes, ma'am? Yes, you turn them in.
It's all multiple choice.
All multiple choice. 25 questions. Absolutely doable. It's going to take you no more than 25 minutes. So it's pretty low key. Once you do the first one, it's the same. It's just like the vocab. Once you've seen it, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. It's not that bad. Once you see the text, you'll see it. It's not that bad. Bye. Have a good day. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Nice job. Thank you. You too, Katie. What's up, man?
I have a question.
Sure. What can happen?
Are we going to do like a road test?
What's gonna happen is, please, as we go through, you'll see how everything is handled. How it's gonna start tomorrow is tomorrow we're gonna do a do now. So you can walk in just like normal. We're gonna do the do now. We're gonna go over the do now. Then I'm gonna ask if anyone has any questions. Anyone have any questions? We answer them. Then we collect all the papers and we'll have about 40 minutes. So, you have more than enough time. Finish well before, because 25 questions multiple choice. By the end of the year, everyone's so used to doing it. It takes 20 minutes, but more than enough.
Yeah, I was just like.
I think you can understand with the vote habits.
Yeah.
We take so many of them, we gotta go fast, or we'll never accomplish anything. So that's what, yeah, you have more than enough time for your best one. Thank you for asking. Yes, ma'am. I forgot. You'll take care of it. Alright. Hi. Jack.
Yeah. So, last year,
Okay.
it started taking
What class are you taking?
environmental science, language, and then
Stick with me. Once you're in it, it gets easier. I completely understand that you're a little overwhelmed right now. I would like it known that I start really, really hard because I know the other classes are doing much harder.
right, and if you get that start, stay.
So you will understand what the pattern requires, so you know what you need to do, and there's no surprises. There's nothing coming new except for tomorrow for testing. So now that you know, that outline will kill you if you don't finish it on the weekend. I'm going to be spending time in class. Do you see how much I got done today in class? That's what I'm going to be doing every single day. Now that I'm done talking about procedures and expectations, now that I've set that foundation, when you come to my class, we're working and getting things done. My job is to teach for 15 minutes, so you don't have to do that work at home. This week is hard. Introductions to a degree, getting things started, getting things going. Give me a shot.
Okay. Yeah, just the whole I missed the second day of school thing threw me off a
There's
lot.
a lot of moving parts, and that's what happens. Give me a shot.
Okay. And that's what I do. That's the reason why.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Great. There's room to grow. I understand. It's a pattern. It takes time. I'm holding you accountable because I need you to see what this is so you can get ahead of them. That's how it works. I'm actually very understanding and I actually do have a soul and a heart. But if I don't set the bar here now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get shit and
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
done and it's gonna be so hard. So have faith. You will be fine. Maybe psychotherapy isn't that hard. It's just man and I changed the basics. Don't put on me, Jack.
All right.
I'm not putting on you. Hi. She was here first. What do you need?
I'm saying hi to you.
Hi. Goodbye.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right there. Hi. How are you?
Okay, I have two things.
Sure. I like your transfer rapper shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Okay, so the first thing is tomorrow I get my braces off.
Oh my God, that's so exciting!
I know, but
Oh my God, what are you gonna
she's
eat
had it
first?
for 4 years. Okay.
Good. I had mine for
Anyways.
6, so like, it's a big deal. Okay.
Oh, wow.
What are you eating?
Okay.
What's the first thing you're eating?
Oh,
It's more
caramel
important.
corn. My brother already bought it for me.
Oh my God, that's so nice. That's so exciting.
Okay,
sorry.
Okay, so your appointment's at 2. My dad taking me at 1:55 because it's like right there. So is the test like bell to bell? Oh, okay. Okay, because I like called to see if I could switch it, and they were like, no, we can't do that till September.
No, guys, please listen. Tomorrow's a big day.
I know.
You need to be excited. You need to be like, oh my God, ready to go, getting these grades. That's a big deal. You're gonna be totally fine. If you want to take it before school, I'm here every single day by 6:45. If you just want to get it done, yes. Like it takes a lot to do this. Okay? So if you want to come take it in the morning, you're more than welcome to. If you want to take it during lunch, you are more than welcome to at any time. If you want to take it before you go to your appointment at your normal time, you're more than welcome to. How tomorrow's class is going to work, you're going to have like 3 minutes for the do now and go over it just like we have been doing. We're going to do the do now, go over the do now. I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions, like you can ask me questions, you know, maybe throw out some hints and stuff like that. Then I'm going to collect all of your assignments, your focus, your study guide. You know how we've been passing papers. We're going to do that. And then you have the remainder of class to take the test. So as fast, as slow as you want. There's no like crazy time limit like a vocab quiz. It is stressful.
I was like, never sit here 10 seconds away.
But understand, if I'm not quick on the front, think of how much wasted time I would have if I was super slow on.
Yeah,
You would get nothing done.
That's right.
So I have to have high expectations now, so then I can lower them as we go through the year. But I think you would agree, if I have very low expectations, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be moving them. Can you agree?
Yeah.
So when you see tomorrow's test, it's the last anything you will ever see in AP Psych until you are finished with AP Psych on May 7th. And we watch movies. We
Right.
do nothing.
Okay.
Okay, so with that being said, tomorrow you'll be completely fine. It's up to you. You don't have to email me. You can tweet me if you want and tell me I don't care. I'm here at 6:45 anyway. You can take the test before school, after school, during lunch. It's completely up to you.
Okay.
Okay, but be excited about the braces.
Oh, I am.
That's it.
Okay, I'm just taking pictures.
All right, sweetie. I hope you have a wonderful day. You will do incredibly well on your test tomorrow. Did you do well on the boards?
Yes. Oh, yes, I knew it all. What's learning structuralism? I'm so past that.
Probably. Did you?
Oh, I have
Where are you? Have you learned structuralism yet?
We just started. Yeah, we were like at 9. We just started.
Our girl over here will be more than happy to tell
Yes,
you all about
absolutely.
structuralism.
Goodbye.
Bye, ladies. Have a good day. this mess. God, don't look at it. It'll stress you out.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be back.
I'll be back today, thank you.
you need anything or have a comment about a kid, let me know, man. Thank you. Are you sleeping? Are you at home? Oh, you literally sound like I literally just woke you up from a nap. Sorry, I'm not going to the gym today because I'm still at school and I have a ton of things I need to get done. So I'm going to go to the gym on Wednesday. On Saturday to get my 5. So I'm going to leave here in a little bit. By the way, I just took my first bite of my lunch 10 seconds ago. Very good. So we don't have a plan for dinner. So I will stop at home. I will stop at Publix on my way home. Is there anything you definitively want? Yeah, we have again at home. Is that what you would like? Okay, then that's what we'll do. All right, I'll pick up that stuff. Do we need more cheese or do we have enough? Okay. All right, I'll pick that up. Are we doing this one at a day? Yes, we'll just figure it out tonight. It's been a complete shit show since last night. Sounds good. I love you. I'll see you at home. Bye. Motherfucker.